Hello everyone, my name is Hilda and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a travel journal flip through, and this is my road trip to France journal. It is, as you can see, very fat, and yeah, so let's get into it. I decorated the entire cover. This is a blank page traveler's notebook insert, a regular format one, and I just stuck a whole bunch of washi and stickers on here. So and cut out bits from PT tapes. So yeah, let's delve into this, shall we? And maybe start with the beginning. So originally we were going to go for a full week. And then my health got really bad. It's still not good. So we ended up going to Amiens and Chartres and ditching Angers, Nantes, Carnac and Caen for now. And we'll just do it again another time when I feel better and the weather is not poop. Although I must say, the weather forecast, both Meteo.fr, which is like the official French one, and Bayeradar, which is what we use, it kind of translates to shower check, you know, rain showers. So yeah, but yeah, basically both of them were like, it's gonna be torrential rain, it's gonna be the great flood, le grand déluge, there's danger of floods, and you know, it was like apocalyptic weather if you were to believe the forecast. And you know what it was 25 degrees, so really rather pleasant, sunny when it did not rain, with showers, like literally 10-minute showers. When we went to Amiens, we arrived and it was raining a bit, like literally a bit, and then it stopped raining and it didn't rain again for, well, I think like up to 7 p.m. and then it rained all night, but that was not a problem because by then we were at the hotel, so it didn't matter. And in Chartres, it rained for like less than 15 minutes. It was like a shower, but it wasn't torrential rain. So I'm kind of like, wow, way to exaggerate that forecast, you guys. Weather forecasts not always as trustworthy as you would think. But yeah, so this is just like decorated pages with stamps and stickers. And then I had a to-do list, things to do before we leave. Also stamps and stickers and lots of distress ink. I'm very fond of these distress oxide pads from Tim Holtz. Very fond. I started out with one and now I think I have like 5. So enough said. My favorite ones are definitely Vintage Photo and Ground Espresso. But I'm also very fond of Carved Pumpkin for obvious reasons. Then I set out to photograph all my outfits. And I got photos of my outfit in Amiens, and that was it. But at least I tried, and I even planned them. And yeah, I drew them all out, thinking like if I have all these doodles, it will be easier to pack. But at least if we try this again next year, I will know what I would like to wear, and I can just take pictures and like get it out. I'll print them out and stick them back in. So no loss there. Then this is our first stop, Amiens. So I made an intro page, so to speak, with again lots of stickers and distress ink and whatnot. And this was a little bit of a paper bag I got in the Cathedral gift shop. So if you see something and you want to know where it's from, just leave a comment and I will reply. This was Amiens, which was very ready for summer. They had this beautiful square, and I will have like a bigger picture up as well. They had this beautiful square and it was all decorated, and I think that was the one where you could go to the free cinema and see like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, because Amiens is the city where Jules Verne lived most of his life and also where he died. And so yeah, they're very fond of their grandfather of steampunk, as are all steampunks and most sci-fi lovers. But yeah, you know, so this is our dinner. We had dinner at Au Bureau, which is this like diesel punk style pub. And yeah, it was actually really good. I really liked it. also the staff was very friendly. So yeah, and also it was wheelchair accessible. So that's great. I'm not in a wheelchair, but I like to point it out when things are accessible. So people who are or have the need for accessible, floors and whatnot will know. So yeah. And then Saint-Leu. Saint-Leu is actually really cool. It's kind of like this accidentally Wes Anderson town in a town. You cross the big river and then you're in Saint-Leu. It's all these like quaint houses, cheerful colors. It's really, really cool. I absolutely recommend. I recommend Amiens if you're going to France anyway, because it's a very weird town with a very weird church, but more about that anon. So this is a flyer focused on the city that I got at the Bureau de Tourisme. And it's just a little booklet and you can leaf through it. Apologies if you hear noise from downstairs. There's a cat screaming and Beth is vacuuming. So he doesn't know I'm filming. I didn't tell him because otherwise he would have waited. But, life has to go on. It can't pause because I'm filming. So yeah, and it's just like a really fun little booklet and it's free. So there's that. And then I will say like most cathedrals are free to enter, well, most churches, but they do ask for like 50-cent donations if you take like little flyers and stuff. So yeah, this is the cathedral. I think this one folds out. Yeah, it does. So the ground floor, well, the plan, I think from the ground up. And then, yeah, I think this one's in Dutch. Yeah, it is. Sometimes I am tired and just grab Dutch versions of things because I'm Flemish Belgian and my first language is Dutch. And then this is one of the things that make Amiens Cathedral a bit weird. They have a skull, and that skull is a reliquary, and it is supposedly the skull of John the Baptist. Supposedly. I'm gonna say allegedly, because I cannot check this for truth, and I don't think anybody can, but it is how it is. And this bookmark I got into like the little cathedral gift shop because I really liked it. It has like gargoyles and stuff. So I stuck it to the back because the back was just plain white and then it is quite visible. Now this labyrinth of Amiens is actually also like quite famous. It's actually in a book that Beth got at Treadwell's last year when we went to London. And the funny thing is, he showed me just a random picture from the book when we were at Treadwell's and I looked at it and I hadn't been in Amiens in years and I had been there 3 times at that point. And I just looked at it and I said, that's Amiens. And it was spot on. So this is very recognizable once you've seen it. Let me get that book. So here we go. It's called The Maze, a Labyrinthine Compendium, a journey through the world's most beguiling mazes. And it is by Angus Hyland and Kendra Wilson. Illustrations by Thibaut Herem. So yeah, it's this guy. I will look up Amiens. So yeah, I have zoomed out slightly. Please disregard the messy desk. It's always in a state of organized chaos. I know where everything is. And yeah, so this is the Amiens labyrinth and it's black and white marble tiles and was made in, or finished, more likely in 1288. So it's ancient. And yeah, some information on it. Does it go to the next page as well? No, that's Argyll. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And there is a rumor, believe it or not. I'm not sure I believe it, but there's a rumor that there is a demon trapped underneath the cathedral, which to be fair, it is pretty special cathedral. But yeah, so that's the thing that's doing the rounds. And here's a postcard of the cathedral, which I bought thinking I'm gonna get a postcard because there is no way I am ever going to get that cathedral into a, fully into a photo. I was wrong. But yeah, I hadn't forgotten that. I used to have sort of like not the lowest entry level Canon DSLR, but like the one above that, and it had a very standard lens. I think it was 1855 millimeters, and now I have a much better one, which lets me zoom out more on my of my art in, which is still more of an entry-level device. But it's a really good camera. But it let me zoom in to the point where I could fit the entire cathedral into the photo several times. So yeah, it's kind of like funny. Here's John the Baptist's skull, which was, I'll have a picture up of the entire setup. You couldn't go anywhere near it. I had to like maneuver my camera through the bars, but I did shamelessly. But yeah, and that was still like the best thing I got. Now this, also bigger picture on screen, is why I'm like, this is why is there an inverted pentacle on a back window of the cathedral? You can't really tell what it is from the inside, but if you go around back, which you totally can, because there's a little square and you can walk past it. It's like at a park. You can absolutely access it. I've not done anything dodgy. Everybody can do it. It's pretty special, but yeah, it's just a really weird church. Then this is more of that little paper bag where they put my purchases in. And yeah, this is just a photo from the cathedral. I kind of really love visiting that cathedral because it's just so eclectic. And yeah, now I will say they're currently doing restoration works, and a lot of the art has been moved to safety, which is absolutely understandable, but it is not at its best right now, but still worth the visit, I would say. So then Amiens is, as I mentioned, the city of Jules Verne. There's a bust of Jules Verne, there's a statue. There's all sorts of fun little things, all sorts of ads around. There's also an expo going on, which is part in Musée Picardie, which we didn't see because it's closed on Monday, and part at Maison Jules Verne. I have a video and a review up on Never Was. I will link to Never Was and you can just check for it. And then this little flyer thing was something I really just grabbed because it has the Nautilus on it. I have not seen any of these movies in Amiens. I have seen some, not the French versions, because I'm very fond of original languages and subtitles. So there we go. Yeah, so opens up like this. They have quite a good array of films. They've got the original 20,000 Leagues, which I believe is on Disney Plus now, so I need to rewatch that because I haven't seen it since I was a child. Then it has Atlantis, Ponyo, Finding Nemo. I'm not sure I've seen this Mysterious Island one, so I need to find it somewhere. And yeah, some other ones. I think these might be... No, this is Wes Anderson. I am not mega good when it comes to Wes Anderson titles. Is there a Life Aquatic or something? Let me know in the comments down below, because I have no clue. But this is Océan de Jacques Perrin, so I'm assuming that is actually French. But yeah, movies, fun. Who doesn't like a fun movie, you know? And I like movie festivals, it's cool. I applaud. Of course, some of these movies are by Struck Struck Studios in the Writers and Actors Strike, the SAG-AFTRA and Writers Guild strike. So it's a bit, up and down. I guess they already sorted everything out with Disney so much in advance. So just be cognizant of that when you see these films at festivals and stuff. Even though a lot of productions, even though they're struck, people are not discouraged, quite on the contrary, to go see them in cinema. I'm not sure what the business is going on with them in Europe and with movie festivals. I'm just saying, maybe do your research before you go. So, by the way, I do support the strike. I'll admit that I just grabbed Jules Verne flyers, okay? I love Jules Verne. He's my favorite writer, and I just went and grabbed stuff. But apparently this is all the things that are happening that are Jules Verne themed. And I wish I lived in Amiens so I could do all of them. But I definitely saw part of the Aronnax stuff because I went to the expo at Maison Jules Verne, and this is plan du parcours. And basically these are all like stops you can do in the city to find out little bits more of Jules Verne's life. So yeah, so I've seen several of these. I've also seen that, I think it's called L'Horloge du Wally. But yeah, I've seen it. So I've done stuff at least. And I've seen, you know, La Maison Jules Verne twice now. We went this time as well. You get these fun tickets. I made the mistake of putting them in Bert's shorts, you know, into his pockets. And they got bent. So that's a little bit sad. But don't make my mistake. Put them away safely. Yeah, I love that house. It's so pretty. It's very, very cool. That guy had a hell of an interior decorator and some serious skills, you know, putting together a house, because it is amazing. It's so amazing. He's got portholes as windows on one of his upper floors. I mean, mind blown. Also, he has a cabinet with hot air balloon woodworking. I mean, that is the thing that steampunks these days dream of. Like, literally not all of them, because like, but still, seriously, dude. I mean, I wish I could go back in time and meet Jules Verne. That would be like amazing. Yeah, absolutely recommend. The Aronnax Expo was very, very small. It was kind of fun, but it was very small, and I just recommend going to the house anyway, because La Maison de Jules Verne is just worth it. Even though if you're not a Jules Verne fan and just like architecture, just do it. It's awesome. And then yeah, this is the one hotel out of the two that I actually remembered to take pictures. Of course, in the morning, not as we got there and walked in and it was still pristine and empty. I'm not that organized, but yeah, we stayed at the Novotel Amiens Paul Jules Verne, and it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's really like a shopping center. It's more like a corporate area with some roadside hotels. It's not in the city center, so you have to be prepared for that. If you're not arriving by car, I mean, I think you can get there by bus, but I don't know how easy it is to get there by bus and if it's a single bus or not. So I'm gonna leave that up to the air, but we were right around the corner from I think it was an Aldi supermarket. There was a McDonald's nearby, I think. I'm not sure, but there were places to eat nearby as well. And other hotels, roadside hotels. So they're more kind of like people on the road kind of trip hotel than it is an actual hotel like you would see in inner cities, like city centers. It was, I think it was built in the 60s or 70s, but it was very clean. The staff was efficient. The breakfast was like very basic, but it's an Accor hotel, so unless you have like a really fancy expensive one, you get that kind of fare. But the rooms were clean. It was actually a really spacious room, and the isolation was like really good. You could barely hear other people in the hallway as they walked through if they were loud. It had a small swimming pool, and then it had like a really big garden with like one slide set for children. And yeah, it was actually all right. It wasn't the most amazing hotel ever, but it was definitely all right, and it was clean. So I can't really remark anything on it. And then this was kind of like silly because I was like testing embroidery, because I hadn't embroidered in absolute years. So I figured like, why don't I just take like a little kit that I put together and just like test stuff out and see how it goes. And of course it went horribly wrong, but at least I knew what I did wrong, and I was able to since I've come back, embroider actually nice things, if I do say so myself. So there's that. And I just stuck it to one of these self-care note sheets from that I got at Flying Tiger last year. I thought it would just like be funny to fill one in for that day and just stick it here and have the embroidery on the back. So just, you know, fun things to do, you know. And then this is Chartres, and I've painted it blue because Chartres bleu. It's a thing. And yeah, this is from a bag we got at the Cathedral gift shop. Making good use of your free ephemera, people. But yeah, so the day started by us leaving Amiens to go to Chartres. And Bert didn't want to pay péage, the road tax, which I absolutely agree with, because the road tax is very high. And the roads you go on are like the big autoroutes, like the big highways, so to speak, and not very exciting. You don't really see any sights. It's mostly just roads, you know, with maybe a tree and a field. You know, you don't really drive through little quaint villages and stuff. And not paying the road tax usually just adds like 30 minutes to your trip. So it's not really worth the pay through the nose for it. But yeah, so we didn't. And then we were driving and we passed by this really cool looking church with a big graveyard. And then we drove some more and we passed by a cemetery in the fields, like completely random. And I was like, what? And then it was like, well, we can, if we see another one, we can stop if you like. And I was like, yes, because I love cemeteries. So we encountered another one. We drove through this town and within, you know, eyesight of the town, but it was still quite far away from the cemetery. You could see the town, but it was, I would say, like at least a 10-minute walk to the town. There was like this random cemetery and you could just park at it, and it was literally in the middle of the fields, and just opened like the gate and you could get in. And yeah, it was very eclectic, and I don't really know what was going on. You had these graves with all sorts of like little decorative plaques on them. You had like graves from the 1800s up to 2010, I think, was the newest one. It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was just like very peaceful, and like I said, I love cemeteries, and it was very small and very peaceful, and I really enjoyed visiting it, and yeah, no regrets. So yeah, that was our road stop. And then we went to Chartres, and Chartres was actually really fun. It was a really nice town. All these really fun buildings, and lots of the buildings were pink, mostly like flesh tones, like Naples yellow and like actual flesh tint, which is a paint, a watercolor paint. I think it's by Old Holland, but don't pin me on it. I know it's not by Sennelier. Yes, Sennelier, more flesh tints, please, more skin tones. But yeah, okay, I'm digressing. We're not here to talk about paints. But yeah, they had like so many cool buildings. Like there was this one building, and it had a giant mural all over it. And then this one had a tree outside that was losing its leaves. The tree was like, no, autumn now, even though it was like really nice weather. And then there was like this really cool market hall building. And it was just awesome. And yeah, we did some shopping because there were lots of organic stores and like these fun little like specialty stores. There was an Asian supermarket, a small one, and then like a store specialized in Irish products. So that was really cool. And then we had dinner at Café du Général, and I had a croque monsieur, which is not like the croque monsieurs in Belgium at all. But it was tasty. I still prefer our croque monsieurs, but it was good. So there's that. Then the Q Park parking lot ticket, it was a very expensive parking lot, especially compared to the one in Amiens, which was €6 for the entire afternoon, which was dirt cheap. But yeah, so there was literally no way I was gonna fit the Cathedral of Chartres into my camera. It wasn't gonna happen. So I got this postcard because it also has a labyrinth, which, unlike the one in Amiens, which you can photograph, more or less at least, this had like loads of chairs on it. You could basically only see like this part. So I figured this is good. And let me get my book out again, because the Chartres maze is also in my book. Let me zoom you out again. So yeah, here's the Cathedral of Chartres. very nice of them to include this guy. And here's the maze, and that is from 1200 to 1220. The fun thing, however, if I am to believe Atlas Obscura at least, these mazes of Chartres and Amiens are somehow linked. I think they mean they're made by the same person, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I also have this thing that I bought for €2 at the Cathedral gift shop, and that is more explanation on the maze and the cathedral. So that is also cool. And I figured like I'm just gonna buy this as like a little extension of our maze book. And so I did. Now these are from a little magazine, to be back in, that was lingering around at the parking lot. I think it was called Vaudreuil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was called Vaudreuil. And it had just another photo of the cathedral, which I figured I can stick on the back of the card. And then this is what the light show looks like. Amiens also had a light show. I don't think it was happening that day because they were like, oh no, it might rain really, really badly. Which was also why we didn't see the cathedral tour, because it got cancelled because of the rain. And we didn't see the treasury because it has opening hours. If you're going to Amiens, treasury tours, are at, if I'm not mistaken, 10 a.m., might be 11 a.m., but it's in the a.m., either 10 or 11, so be there at 10, a little bit before that. And 2 p.m., that was when we were there, so they might have changed it. And if you want to see the Amiens treasury, just kind of get there when the damn thing opens and just go straight to the little gift shop at the side. If you stand in front of the cathedral, it's at your left-hand side. Go straight there, buy your ticket, because otherwise you will not see that treasury. I've been trying to see it since 2010. So I failed 4 times in a row. And then, yeah, this is the thing about Chartres Cathedral. I got the English one, also because it was the only one that was blue. And I'm sticking to my team. So yeah, apparently the initial cathedral that the new one has been built on top because the old one has perished was started in the 4th century. So it's a proper religious site. And yes, just a little bit of paper with some more cathedral information. And here are some more photos of the cathedral. And here you can see the Chartres Bleu windows. So, yeah. Other than that, they have a crypt that is supposedly druidic, which we didn't see. Because we got there in the afternoon, which is also a disadvantage of these road trip things, because it was a 3.5 hour, I think with the road stop, like 4-hour drive from Amiens to actually door to door, so to speak, like actually being in Chartres. So we didn't have that much time. So that's also lesson learned, you know. I feel like this is kind of like the preview road trip, you know, the testing of how we should do this if we properly do it next year. But yeah, so the hotel we stayed at was an Ibis Styles. It was same story as Amiens, really. It was outside the town, but closer to the town. You could probably walk it if you didn't mind walking for an hour. But we had I know there was a McDonald's and a KFC right by. We didn't eat there, but there were a couple of other hotels, and I think maybe another restaurant. It was kind of like that sort of thing as well. But yeah, we got a proper bell this time. We didn't at the Novotel. We kind of got like the receipt, and that was it from paying with credit card. But I'm not going to open that because it has like all sorts of personal details. But I stuck it in here and I used some blue washi because, you know, Chartres Bleu. And then I still have this. And it has a room number and it has like the key, which I didn't get the key back. I did want to, but we put everything in the car. And then there was nobody at the desk. And I waited 5 minutes and nobody came because people were busy and they were understaffed. So I was just like, well, I'm keeping it then. It looks really fun. So I'm not mad at it. So yeah, and this is just a little card from the hotel. So I took that as well. And yeah, this is my kind of like my hotel review. And I can still open it up because I forgot to take pictures of the room. So at least I have a black and white picture of the room. I think I might have video of it. I probably do have video of it, and it's in my July moments, which I shall also link down below. And then, this is kind of silly, but in that Vaudreuil, they had a section on butterflies. And I cut it out and stuck it in because, by Jove, some of these names are wild. And I'm not gonna say that we're doing so much better naming butterflies in Dutch. But some of them are just what even. Like a swallowtail, I'm just gonna use the English names for the video. Like a swallowtail is a flambé. A flambé is like desserts you set on fire. You know? That's a flambé in my book. I'm not sure what the English word for this guy is, but we call it a vuurvlinder, and this is something with pepper. So I'm like, what? This is a thistle butterfly? Well, that's directly translated from a Dutch word, distelvlinder. I don't know what this guy is in English, but it's called belle dame, which is pretty lady. So, it's not too bad. These guys are just kind of normal, because peacock is dagpauwoog, so this is paon du jour. So it's actually like literally the Dutch words for it. So yeah, it's not that weird. But I also have Vulcain, which is an Atalanta, an admiral, and then so this guy, we called him. Wait for it. Gehakkelde Aurelia. The English-speaking population calls this a comma. I don't know how you get from the one to the other. I have no idea. But then the French win at naming this butterfly, because in France, they call it, well, in French, because they do it in French Belgium as well, in Wallonia, it's Robert le Diable. How is this Robert the Devil? Come on, guys. They're very, very pretty. I do appreciate them, but also this guy, the Oranje Luzernevlinder, which is yellow. So I'm not sure why there's orange in the Dutch name, is called un souci. I'm pretty sure that's like a worry. Why is a butterfly called a worry? But weird butterfly names aside, you do see why I, in all of my love of butterfly and insects, had to stick this in here so I can keep it forever and ever because of weird butterfly names. Some of my friends and I have had a really good laugh about this already, so, And then on our last day, we mostly spent it driving. On the Atlas Oscura website, I had found this church at Meslay-le-Grenet. I nearly said Meslay-le-Grand, but it's Meslay-le-Grenet. And it's, I think it's called, what was it called again? I've written it down. The Église Saint-Orient, the Saint Orient Church. And they have a mural, I will have it linked down below, a mural that depicts La Danse Macabre, and I believe it's from the 17th century, sorry, the 15th century. So we went there because it was a half-an-hour drive from our hotel, which ended up in being an hour detour going home. But still, so it was this quaint little village. And then they had like this weirdly shaped church. And you couldn't get in the church proper because of security issues or security reasons, but they had like this little hallway and you could like turn on the light and then you could see from a distance, but at least you could see them, all the mural paintings. So there's that. If there's 10 of you or more, you can call a number that's on the website of the church, and then you can request a guided tour, but there has to be 10 of you, and there was 2 of us, so obviously I didn't call for that. But yeah, it was, it was an experience, I would say. Was it worth the detour? Of course, if you're weird like me, it is. If you're not weird and there's not 10 of you, I would probably say maybe not. Maybe just look at the Atlas Obscura website. But, other than that, it was an experience, and we were on a road trip, you know? And then we drove for, I think, 6 hours. And then we went to the V2, which is a mall at Villeneuve d'Ascq. And we have been there several times before. But we figured if we go there, we have at least a longer break from driving. And we can have dinner at Flunch, which is it's sort of like a kind of buffet situation. It's not the best food ever, but it's food, proper food, and you have a buffet of... Basically what you do is you pick a meal at the register, and then they give you a ticket, and you pick up, like, say, your steak. And then you can take French fries, puree, vegetables, that sort of things, as much as you like on top of that. So, and you get like one drink as well. Well, you pick a drink and pay for it. But yeah, so that's the kind of Flunch situation. We had done it before and we figured like, it's gonna be fine for today. Let's just do it. It's just the least hassle of everything. And also, I had been trying to chase down a particular Too Faced blush at Sephora. Well, there were two I wanted, and I managed to... It was like either the one or the other, and I found one eventually at the V2. So there was that. But we didn't go for the Too Faced blush. We went for the food. And also because we wanted to shop at the big Auchan supermarket. And I still did not find Croco Peak. Seriously, it's my favorite candy, just like these sour crocodiles. They're amazing. And I didn't look at the supermarkets in Amiens because I was like, oh, I don't want to carry them around. I will just, because I knew we were going to go to the V2. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy them at Auchan. And then I didn't really see supermarket in Chartres that would carry them because we only saw organic stuff and whatnot, which is great. But still, there were no Croco Peak, obviously. And then I even looked in the shop of the place where we got gas on the way from Chartres to the V2. And they also didn't have Croco Peak. They did have baby crocs, like the wee ones without the peak. And I was like, dang it! So I got other candy, but more of that anon. And also, this is like the one photo I took at the V2 of me holding a pack of Lutti Pokemon Fizz, which I did buy. Because my friend Valentine is super into Pokemon, and next time we go plein air, this will be our plein air snack. I have decided. She does not disagree. And then this is just... I figured out, since I had so many pages left, as we weren't gone for a week, I was gonna put in wrappers of stuff and write little reviews and see if they were worth buying again. Because now I can look it up and check if I forget. So first up is these cat snacks. These are catifactions with catnip. And I had never seen these anywhere in Belgium. And turns out Albert Heijn has them. Well, if they're in stock at least. But in theory, Albert Heijn sells them. So it's a good thing they do. Because my cats are obsessed. Like, properly obsessed. And then these are Haribo Pastèque. Pastèque is a watermelon, and these are new. And unless people in France are absolutely obsessed with these, I don't think they're gonna last, because first bite, you're like, oh yes, this tastes like watermelon. And then it's just so sickeningly sweet, even your plain old water will taste funny. So I shall not be buying these again, unless I happen upon them and I'm having a summerween party. Because I think they'll, like, as party snacks, they'll be like quite fun. So then this is from the Asian supermarket at Chartres, and these are lemon custard mochi. And these were actually all right. Initially I was like, they're kind of soapy, and I had like 2, and then the next day I had the rest. I was like, that was actually fine. And then the rest I've not stuck in yet because I'm yet to eat them. I have a bag of regular soft crocodiles from Haribo, which is fine, but not big. But no, I will get over it eventually in a million years. And then I have some other cat treats, which I've had not opened yet because they need to finish what they've started first. And contrary to their popular belief, they are not allowed to eat treats all day long. Treats are just for like once or twice a day, not the entire day. So It'll be a while. But yeah, this was my little trip journal, minus a couple of to come reviews, which is just basically you've missed out on a few rappers. So I'm sure everybody will live. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was like just like sort of 2.5 stops, so to speak. But yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it. There will be cats as soon as I stop talking. Hit that notification bell so YouTube hopefully tells you when I've uploaded a new video. Wouldn't that be grand? Subscribe if you want to stick around for more shenanigans in motion. I upload fairly regularly, but I do not have a regular schedule because chaos. But yeah, that's it for today, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!